We will take up the following items for approval. Action 1A is the approval of the minutes of the June 3rd, 2024 meeting. I move the approval of action item 1A. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstention, none here.
Okay. Here, then that item has passed. We will now address the action items on the policy calendar. Policy items 1B1 is a resolution from Medgar Evers College to close the Department of World Languages and Culture, transfer faculty to the Department of English, and rename the Department of English as the Department of English and World Languages. I now call Executive Vice Chancellor and University Provost Wendy Hensel to provide further background on the item. Wendy.
Thank you. To improve effectiveness and efficiency, the School of Liberal Arts at Medgar Evers College conducted an evaluation that resulted in the recommendation to close the Department of World Languages and Culture. To effectuate the closure of the department, the 3 full-time faculty members will be transferred with no change in academic rank and teaching responsibilities to the Department of English. The department will be renamed the Department of English and World Languages. These actions were unanimously approved by the Medgar Evers College Executive Board of the College Council, as well as the College Council in March 2024. President Ramsey and Provost Cole have joined us today and can answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Wendy. I move the approval of policy items 1B1. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussions? Yes, John.
I'd just like to thank the Medgar Evers administration for doing this in a way that didn't lose seniority for certain faculty members.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? This was pretty straightforward to me. So hearing no more questions, can we have a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, that item passes. Policy item 1B2 is a resolution to establish the Center for Environmental Justice to enrich and engage New York City at the CUNY Graduate School of Public Health and Health Policy. Again, I'll call on Executive Vice Chancellor Hensel.
The ongoing challenges of air pollution, climate change, and industrial emissions in urban cities have significantly impacted public health, particularly among underserved and vulnerable communities, highlighting the need for a specialized center to conduct cutting-edge research, inform policy, and develop innovative solutions to pressing environmental and occupational health issues. The Energy Center will serve as a pioneering hub for research in environmental justice and public health, offering critical resources for researchers across various disciplines, as well as professionals in exposure science, environmental health, biostatistics and epidemiology, urban planning, and related fields. The Energy Center will enhance CUNY's role as a key institution in New York City, providing indispensable resources and research that will have a significant positive impact on the city and state, addressing critical issues through interdisciplinary collaboration and community engagement. The Energy Center's proposed first-year budget of over $1 million will be fully supported by existing grants, including those funded by the NIH and the Environmental Protection Agency. Center will continue to be self-sustaining and not rely on tax levy support. Should the committee have any questions, my colleague Dean El Muhandas from the School of Public Health can address them.
Thanks, Wendy. So I move approval of policy item 1B2. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, questions?
I have one.
Yes, Henry.
One, I think this is very impressive. What I was most impressed with is how they got out of Center for Environmental Justice and to enrich NYC, they got energy.
That was,
I thought that was very, very well done. Never could have figured it out.
Well thought out.
But it also looks like an outstanding center.
And I'm very pleased to see that it is fully supported and sustainable, which is always a very good thing. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Okay,
We
any
have
other?
with us Professor Suzanne McDermott, who will be the director of this new center.
Oh, congratulations. Nice to meet
Good
you.
luck.
Yes. Okay, so any other questions? If not, we will now vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Hearing none, that item passes. So policy item 1B3A through 1B3E are resolutions requesting appointments with immediate tenure for 5 faculty from 3 campuses. Again, Provost Hensel.
The City University of New York is part of the national and international community of scholars that customarily recognizes the judgment of colleagues at other institutions with respect to faculty personnel decisions and has an expectation of reciprocity. In order to attract renowned scholars in all disciplines to join the university faculty and advance the strategic agenda, There is an expectation that tenure will be awarded upon appointment. 3 campuses are seeking appointments with immediate tenure for the following accomplished scholars. From Hunter College, Sherry Greenberg, who was awarded tenure at Monmouth University. She is a well-funded and highly respected scholar and national expert in gerontology who is deeply committed mentor and teacher to the next generation of nurses. Professor Greenberg has served as both president and board member of the Gerontological Advanced Practice Nurses Association and is vice chair of the American Academy of Nursing's expert panel on the aging. John Murillo, a tenured professor from Wesleyan University's Department of English, is widely recognized as a leading poet of his generation, as evidenced by being awarded a Pushcart Prize, runner-up for the Penn Open Book Award, and a prestigious art residency at the McDowell Colony Fellowship. Barbara Post-Montier came to CUNY with tenure from Drexel University and continuous reappointment at Thomas Jefferson University. Professor Post-Montier is a widely respected scholar in the field of psychiatric mental health nursing related to social justice and health equity. She was inducted as a Fellow of the American Academy of Nursing in recognition of her significant and sustained impact in the field. From Lehman College, Elizabeth Simon, who served as professor and dean in the School of Nursing at Alliance University, formerly Nyack College. Dr. Simon has a strong publication record, is a member of the American Nursing Association, and an expert in nursing education who has worked tirelessly on local, national, and international levels, providing nursing education at the undergraduate and graduate levels in critical care nursing. Professor Simon has an exemplary and consistent 40-year record as a nurse educator, administrator, and practitioner. From the School of Public Health, Konstantin Ianatsos, I hope I said that right, who joined CUNY with tenure from Indiana University's Department of Medicine to serve as Professor of Epidemiology and Biostatistics at SPH. He is a leading authority in statistical methods and applications for large-scale data in HIV, is internationally recognized for his work on HIV/AIDS in resource-limited settings, and conducts cross-disciplinary work that influences treatment practices worldwide and advances methods research in statistics. Dr. Iannatsas, again, my apologies there, has published extensively and acquired numerous multi-million grants and awards as principal investigator and co-investigator, totaling over $25 million, including from the National Institutes of Health. There are representatives from Hunter and Lehman here and the School of Public Health who can answer any questions you might have.
Thanks, Wendy. So I move the approval of policy items 1B3A through 1B3E. Do I have a second? Second, thank you. Any discussions? Comments? They all seem pretty well-established people that deserve this, so I think we will now vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Hearing none, that item passes. So policy item 1B4A is a resolution to approve the Faculty Personnel Matters Report of the Education Policy Committee. Again, EVC Hensel.
The information contained in the Faculty Personnel Matters Report of the Education Policy Committee includes appointments and reappointments with tenure and fellowship leaves. The October report was generated in summary format from faculty data entered by the campuses into CUNY First between June 27th and August 30th, 2024.
Okay, thank you. So I will move the approval of policy item 1B4A. Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we will vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Hearing none, that item passes. Policy item 1B4B is a resolution requesting approval of the actions in the Curriculum and Academic Policy Dashboard Report. Again, Provost Hensel.
Routine academic matters, local academic policies, and course inclusions in the university's general education program are presented to the Committee on Education Policy in summary format generated from an online dashboard. Highlights from this month's dashboard include the classification of 2 new general education courses, giving students options to study social science and the humanities, 67 program actions, and 1 revised undergraduate policy.
Thank you. I move the approval of policy item 1B4B. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussions, any
I
questions?
just have a question.
Yes, Henry.
It appears SBS is moving a lot, or making available a lot of the nursing clinical programs online. And if that's so, it certainly makes the program a lot more accessible, and I think that's a great step forward.
We have a whole program of incentivizing some of that work. I don't know if that specifically relates to this particular program, but yes, obviously our goal is to make it as broadly as accessible as possible. So, yeah, very, very good work on their part.
So I think we will now vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Hearing none, that item passes. With no more items on the policy calendar, I now call on Executive Vice Chancellor Wendy Hensel to address the information item on the agenda, a review of Office of Academic Affairs priorities and accomplishments over the past academic year.
We also heard from Lisa, the dean, that they had some accreditations, there's a meeting they have already.
Okay, thank you.
When fly through, it was mentioned about a comp, so they didn't.
We knew this would be a relatively short meeting, and since it's the first one of the year, thought it would be helpful to show you both what we've done in the last year in terms of major initiatives and also what's on the agenda for this year. So there's a lot of information in these slides. Certainly I'm not going to go through all of it in any detail, but did want to just highlight for you a few points, and happy to stop at any point and take questions if you have them. So enrollment is always what we start with, right? And what we have is a whole lot of activity going on, including, by the way, a national award that we just received this week for the work on the FAFSA, the FAST app work that I'll show you here in a minute. But yeah, that really is worthy to Renee Sarmiento and her team. Really, really impressive. But equally impressive is the work we've been doing to build the pipeline with K through 12. And you can see here we now have an automatic welcome letter. That was the first time last year. 60,000 of them went out, and now they are so popular that both the mayor and the governor wanted to sign them with us. So this year there will be additional signatures on that letter, which shows you how powerful it is. We had a huge increase in applications last fall, 386%. While that did not translate, in part because of the FAFSA challenges, into specific enrollment gains, we would have been considerably down in the absence of this work. And what it did do was allow our campuses in really heroic ways to engage with students much earlier than they otherwise would have. So really, again, excellent work. We have a financial aid estimate that had well over 200,000 hits, and we adjusted with FAFSA as we had to. So all good work there. With Reconnect, I think it's good enough to show you here that we expected 15,000 this year and hit 16,551 in the second year, and awarded over $2.8 million in completion grants. It is so impressive if you look at that last bullet there, but 17% of our reconnected students have already graduated. So it shows you these folks were close, and in many cases, at least in some cases, actually had earned an associate's degree, but had continued toward the bachelor's, and so we reverse awarded those. So very, very significant work being done here. FAFSA, these were the numbers, that were down, but overall we were only down 1%. I think we're actually up 1% at this point. This might be, this is a little bit dated, but compared to New York State, which was down 12%. So you can see, and again, remember, our students are the ones who would be disproportionately impacted, so quite a, yes.
So I had a question. Could you just go back to the other slide?
Yep.
I'm wondering if there's an opportunity there for those recent graduates to serve as, and maybe you're already doing this, but to serve as ambassadors for the program.
Is Renee here? I think we're doing that.
Navigators.
Yeah,
right?
I suspect that there is that going on. I couldn't tell you that specifically, but I can get you that information. But they're our best advertisements, right?
Model, right?
Yeah.
So just sort of.
I know we have an advertising campaign, and we've included them in that. I'm not sure if they're specifically working.
Who better to tell that
Well,
story?
the navigators,
100%.
I mean, they get paid and.
Okay, great.
I mean, I think that's
Okay.
what you're trying to
Yeah.
say, that an opportunity to get
Yeah.
them to.
It's great work.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
So just to conclude, in enrollment, we're up 3.3%, and undergraduate 4.3% in the summer. And if you look in the fall, we're still playing out sort of where these numbers are, but you get a sense of it here. With kudos to our community colleges that actually led that increase, which is not something we've been able to say for a while, so I specifically wanted to call that out. Ultimately, we're somewhere around 3%. somewhere around 3% up for the fall. We're down, as you can see, they're first-time freshmen, but up in, if you look at transfer, 9.7%. I have no doubt that that's part of the work that we've been doing in transfer. So lots of good work there, and we hope this year, God willing, will be smoother with the financial aid issues that we experience, and we'll continue to see this enrollment growth. So what's up next? We're doing more here. I'll just put these all up. We talked about the Common App, hopefully launching next fall. More Reconnect, focusing on social justice communities with some of the work that's being done in John Jay, and doing pretty extensive expansion of financial aid and information to students. So stay tuned for that work. So a place where there's just been an extraordinary amount of work, and it's all sort of invisible, so you don't see it, is really in academic technology and innovation. So you can see here that in the first 2 years, I think we showed this to you in the summary that we did in your education session, but we grew from 63 to 188 fully online programs, which is pretty extraordinary in 2 years. And that was done, again, not by building things from the bottom up, but really looking at where were the connections to the enrollment demand that could be filled out in a few classes being developed with incentives provided from the central office and completely voluntary faculty participation. So really important to say this is speedy progress, but it's progress that's done with the faculty and not against the faculty. Very important. A couple points here, just lots of stuff going on, and you can see we are continuing to expand this, provide consultation and websites. We now, for the first time, have a single website where you can find all of these asynchronous online programs. This year, we're working to integrate data. We never tracked these folks before, and so we don't have a way of comparing where we were to where we are now in a way that's seamless. By the end of this year, we will have that, and we'll be able to report back to you on that. We are changing to a new LMS system. That has come before you before, but 12 colleges, actually it's actually more than that now, this is a little outdated, 210,000 courses migrated. We will complete that transition by the end of the spring term, and that means 300,000 courses have been migrated to a new LMS. I cannot say strongly enough how complicated this was, and to give huge kudos to Associate Vice Chancellor Kim Siegenthaler and Evan Silverman, who led this, and have continued to receive kudos from faculty for the sensitive way in which it was deployed. That was really important to us. EAB Navigate, you've heard me talk a lot about students. Oh, I'm sorry, John?
I'll just put in a plug for all the faculty that had to
Yes, thank you, John.
migrate their courses. 'Cause
Also
it was
true.
a considerable amount of work for many of them, although as much as it was automated, there are a handful that
Yeah.
didn't benefit so much from that.
I mean, inevitably, there are issues that have to be addressed at the individual level, and we really are appreciative that this was, as I said, a team effort really from top to bottom. So EAB Navigate, you've heard me talk about student success analytics and red flags and following up. That's EAB Navigate. So what have we done? We launched it at all community colleges. They didn't have it before, and it is now across all of our institutions. And rather than following the format that we've done in the past, which is typical of higher education, we identify, we implement, and we tell you, good luck. We hope it works out. What we're doing actually now is backtracking. We are working with EAB to put teams in place to sit on the campuses and train people and work in a common system. There's now an EAB Navigate Council that is working to standardize this, to integrate it with academic advisements. This will be a game changer as we scale this up. So very, very exciting work. And thank you again. This is another one. This is from top to bottom. Everyone has to sign into this, and is a real team effort. Same with course scheduling and curricular management. Typically, this has been done in a historical way. We have just procured, thanks to you all, CourseDog. New provisions in CourseDog. CourseDog was another one that we implemented without full success because we didn't have full capability at the time that we launched it. And so we did a complete reset. These folks came out, the entire CourseDog team, from the CEO down to the implementers, spent an entire day with us on campus. And we have an entire strategy now to take this to the next level so that it truly is course demand that's based on current enrollment, projected demand, so that we don't have courses that are canceled. We don't have courses that are under-enrolled. That's the goal. It'll take a while to get there, but this will be an incredibly effective tool, and also to diminish the work that folks put in just to create a schedule. Such a huge administrative burden, so I'm really excited about this, and most people have been excited about it too. You've heard us talk about Transfer Explorer. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but to say again, this creates transparency across transfer. Students know what courses transfer, they see their career path, and they know which schools will take which courses. It is truly revolutionary in terms of transparency, and we are every year adding into this. So we've got the basic tool in place now and are adding significant pieces that will help our students. We have you heard this, those of you on the research committee, of course, implemented a CAIU system, which is for federal grants administration. Really a game changer there as well, should diminish the burden on faculty. And we've talked about this before, so I'm just going to highlight this really quickly. Right now, we are searching for our first Chief Academic AI Officer. Really, really excited about that. And we are hitting the AI future, if you will, on every level that it's going to affect us. And this is another one that is a system-wide collaboration with great participation from faculty, administrators, and from industry. So thank you to everyone participating. Few things in academic affairs. I'll go through this quickly because I think we've talked about these the most. But you know we finished our consultation with the National Institute for Student Success with 5 colleges. We now have generalized recommendations for the system, and we'll be holding a philanthropic roundtable with our largest funders coming up here in actually at the end of the month to talk about next steps and areas where we can leverage funding to really reach the next level in deployment. That's what that's about. This may not be exciting to anybody at the table, but it is so incredibly important. We've identified all kinds of policies that don't serve our students well. You know, we pass them, we don't understand fully the implications, so we're looking at them, studying them, following up, and a lot of work was done last year in this regard, including a new reasonable accommodations policy, academic integrity policy spearheaded by the faculty, LMS policies, et cetera. There's more updating happening this year. You can see them here. Things like freshman forgiveness policies, F-grade replacements, SAT, and course repeat. So one nice movement here, again, that has furthered faculty governance. This committee, the Council on Academic Policy, I think is what it's called, was always an advisory committee to the provost, and it was correctly pointed out it did not have faculty participation. And so now John sits on that as well as some other faculty members, so I feel like we've gone a step further, and this will really be much better policies as a result, and better collaboration. Transfer initiative, I can tell you, we can go through this, but I think it's best to just say we are on track at the end of this year to achieve transfer for about 85% of our students seamlessly without articulation in the major. So stay tuned for that. To say that we are excited about that is an understatement. That is not to say this is not a Gordian knot. Every time we tease out one piece, 5 more appear in terms of challenges with policies, with practices, et cetera. This will be a lifetime for us to continually address the challenges as they arise. But to get to this point is an incredible success of faculty governance. This has been the University Faculty Senate and this administration sitting together on behalf of our students. And I mean, it's just so exciting, and I'm so appreciative of all the time that has been spent by so many to do this. And we will continue identifying new majors. And so we'll come back to you and talk about this in detail. Faculty affairs, just really quickly, lots going on here, lots of pedagogy, lots of training sessions, lots of grants. Turns out I'm the biggest PI at this university, strictly because I have so many talented people in the Office of Academic Affairs bringing in significant grants to do innovative work. And this Academic Affairs is one of the leaders for that. We are doing all kinds of new support for department chairs that I'm really excited about, recognizing they have the hardest job in the university. I have no problem saying that. It is hard. And we recognize that our job is to provide more support and training and transparency with data to help them do their jobs better. And then finally, the Coach Task Force was a faculty satisfaction survey. We have some recommendations that came out of that we'll be working on to implement this year. Yeah, let's keep going. Same stuff. So careers and industry partnerships, we could spend all day on what's going on here, but the bottom line here is we have a lot of really cool programs that are cutting edge, that are engaging industry in the classroom, with professors, in the curriculum, and with internships. And the next step is to integrate those things into a holistic approach that allows career advising to go hand in hand with progression through the curriculum. So that ideally, at each step, we are identifying what co-curricular experience should you be getting and providing methods to do that. And so that's really what this all says, and this is actually, go back there. A way of doing that. We would love to come back. We could spend an hour doing this. So just want to flag for you that integration and that vision is coming together in conjunction with faculty and administrative conversations across the campuses. Student affairs, these guys have been killing it. There's been a lot going on. We did tremendous work this year with disability services. Yes, it was initially arose out of a compliance agreement with the Department of Justice, but I said then and I say now, our goal has always been to meet the needs of our students with disabilities, not to just comply with the law. And so new policies, new supports, new programs, including a new software that's launching shortly that will allow all of this to be automated, where a student can apply from their chair and can track where the appropriate approval processes are and how, where it's stuck or where it isn't be. This should be a game changer for our students with disabilities. We're really, really excited about that. And lots of training going on in terms of civil discourse, in terms of the Black Male Initiative. There's just lots and lots that our team is doing to create a vibrant, supported campus environment where every student matters and belongs. And for up next, we're talking about housing. What kind of housing might be available for housing insecure students? We know that will always be a key issue outside the classroom for our folks. Modernizing systems and orientations, and looking at international experiences, making sure we're meeting those students' needs too. Research, just quickly, it's been a great year. We've done all kinds of things with the new Vice Chancellor for Research, as you know, and you can see here just a few of the things that have been going on. We're still looking to integrate our approach across the campuses and identify how we can do leveraged collaboration that takes it to the next level for grant procurement, but also student research and experiences. So that's my lovely team, although it's now dated. I really need to change this picture, but we look good. So we need to take about 100 more pictures where we look good. But really, our motto is that we are here to serve. Our job is to identify how we are value added to the campuses, not to co-opt what's going on or to dictate what may be necessary at the different unique environments that exist. And we've put a lot of time into building those relationships, and I think you can see that from the work that's coming out of the team. And I think that's the last slide. Yep. So thank you. Thank you for all of your support. We're excited to come back with more details on these things, but did want to show you there's a lot going on, and we look forward to what's next.
Thank you, Wendy. Certainly impressive, an amazing amount of work there. So congratulations to you and the entire team that has put all these different programs in place. And I think being data-driven and being able to measure what you do is extremely important. And I think we're already seeing that with enrollment numbers and such. And so it's great. So thank you. So with no more items on the agenda, I move to adjourn this meeting. Second. Okay, thank you.